ThermoWorks went and did it. They finally sent me something that I didn't really want, didn't really think I even had a need for, wasn't even sure I wanted to promote it on my channel. And I like ThermoWorks. Contacted them the other day about getting a dot thermometer to do one thing, or maybe it stands for digital oven thermometer. I wanted it as an accessory for my ThermoWorks smoke, in case I did more than one meat, and I could just plug that one in real easy, and I could use it for other stuff too. I was contacting them with the affiliate pricing program, you know, so I could promote it on the channel. And they said, hey, Big Lou, would you like a Smoke X? This is the Smoke X. And I said, well, I already have the smoke, and it reaches just fine into my house. And the only place it doesn't reach is when I'm way back yonder behind my pond fishing. At the other side of the pond, live on a 4-acre piece of property. I said, it might go out. I said, but that's not a big deal. He said, well, this goes up to 1.5 miles. I said, yeah, but I already got a smoke, which is a good thermometer. I'm gonna leave a link down below there. Well, we'd like you to try out the Smoke X. It's got a much larger range, and we'll give you 4 probes. And I'm thinking, I usually only cook from a family of 3. You know, it's just me and the kids here, and I don't really need 4 probes. He said, you sure? And I said, well, sometimes I cook from a church, like for a vacation Bible school or something, and I cook more meat than that. And sometimes I cook for my kids' band camp and stuff like that, and I might cook 4 or 5 pork butts at the same time, and I might need the extra probes. And they said, well, we'd love to send it to you, and we'd love to send you the Billows control fan too. Do you have a grill that you can use? I said, well, I got a Weber kettle. Well, that works. You got to drill a hole. And I said, I've got drum smokers. That's perfect. We're going to send you the Billows control fan, and then you can go to sleep and you don't have to worry about it. Well, a drum smoker, pretty much the original set it and forget it thing, you know. Other vertical smokers like the Weber Smoky Mountain, which the Billows will do real well with if you have one of those, okay? I think vertical drum smokers are just the best kind of smokers. I really do. Whether it's an ugly drum smoker like this, also called an upright drum smoker, or one of those bullet smokers like a Weber Smoky Mountain, or one of those barrel cookers of whatever type. I think vertical smokers are just brilliant because a lot of people spend a lot of money trying to make smoke go sideways. And a vertical smoker, it goes up, does what it's supposed to do. And they're pretty much set it and forget it. But sometimes there's problems. Sometimes the charcoal goes out. Sometimes, rarely, but sometimes. But oftentimes it might be a little windy or something and it gets too hot. And then you've ruined your meat. And here at late June 2021, current prices of pork butt meat, I don't need it ruined. So I'm gonna be cooking 3 pork butts because like I said, sometimes I cook it for occasions. And my daughter is at a theater camp. You're putting on a play tonight, which is Friday night. Won't be when you're seeing this. You'll probably see this on a Monday or Tuesday when I first upload it. And tomorrow they got the matinee, and after that the cast party. And they said, hey, will you bring some of your delicious pulled pork, Big Lou? And I said, yeah, sure I will. Not considering current pork prices, but hey, I'm glad to do it. And I'm glad to donate it for the kids too. Hope they're gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna be cooking 3 pork butts. And I gotta have it there because it's a matinee performance, you know, mid-morning or tomorrow afternoon. And I'm gonna cook these pork butts overnight. I wanna sleep tight. I wanna know that they're gonna be okay because I don't wanna ruin them. So I got a use for the Billows. I got a use for this, all right? I'm gonna take you on a tour of my drum smoker, show you how it works, show you how I plan to hook up the Billows. I'm not really gonna do much of an unboxing of this. I've already taken a look at it. Guys, look, it's the control unit, the receiver unit, all your probes, that's it, all right? It's got some little bands that you can put on the colors, little color-coded bands on there. I'm gonna set this up like that. I do wanna unbox the Billows because I did take a look at it, and I wanna show you something that's a little weird. I don't know if it's supposed to be this way, but it's got this thing here, but you see it's loose. And I don't know if it's supposed to be stuck to that. It's supposed to be adhesive, or it's supposed to be loose like that. It doesn't feel like there was ever any sticky residue on it or not. So ThermoWorks, you tell me, was it supposed to be stuck on there or not? But it was like that when it came out of the box. That's just loose. All right, let me take you on a tour of my drum smoker, show you how I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna get it fired up, and I'm gonna go to the play tonight and let it run. And if it runs for a few hours and it stays around the 250 mark, which is where I want to cook this pork butt, or 225 to 250, I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna put the pork butt on it when I get back tonight. I'm gonna let it cook overnight and get it there on time tomorrow. All right. All right, ¿cómo están ustedes, amigos? UDS. That's Spanish for y'all. That means how are y'all? All right. Ustedes no pueden hablar español, ¿no? ¿Por qué no? All right, este es mi humidor. This is my smoker, all right? And I built it several years ago. I had it configured different with 2 upright pipes, all right? I took the 2 upright pipes off, and where they left, I left a magnet. So you see they got a magnet hole right there. That's where I'm gonna put the Billows fan. Of course, I could put it over here too where there's a magnet hole. I made all my grill grate holders, the one for the top rack where I hang stuff from or put boudin on, the one for the main rack, the one for the heat diffuser. I made all those with longer screws just so that I could hang tools like this meat hook or this grill grate cleaner off of. All right, so when I took the pipes off of there, I put one of these slide vents on. It works a lot like a Komodo, but I can keep it with my toes. It works really well, and I really do trust it. And there's a thing for the adapter for the Billows for Komodo style grills that'll go into something like that, and you can hook it up there and then shut it off. But since I don't need it, because I've got the hole right there or on the other side where I'm gonna put the, well, there it is, where I'm gonna put the Billows fan at, all right? Anyway, I'm gonna get it all hooked up and get it lit and see if it runs up. I do think that that's supposed to be glued on there, but I don't feel any adhesive or like it ever was stuck. It's really smooth, so maybe it's not supposed to be. Move my magnet out of the way, not gonna need it, but like I said, normally, I just keep it covered up, the old holes where I had the upright pipes on it when I first built the smoker years ago. This is a plug, a stopper, air dam, I don't know what you call it, but it stops the air from coming in there into that fan, all right? It's supposed to be pointed down so that water doesn't get into it, and or the plug where the power adapter is. By the way, you need a separate power adapter for it. So I think what I do is I just pinch these together like that and stick them in here like that. Oh boy, that's pretty easy. I think it'd be easier if that, maybe it's not supposed to be glued on there, but I think I'm gonna glue it. It attaches just that easy, y'all. Just that easy, and my Billows is attached. All right, I'm gonna fire this up, set up the Smoke X, and see if it runs while I go to the play. And if it did well while I'm at the play, I'm gonna put the pork butts in it tonight and smoke it. All right, well, I got it all set up. Got some white smoke because I got some hickory in there. But like I said, I'm not putting the pork butt on for at least a couple hours till I come back from the play. It's coming up the temp. Got the air probe set there. Of course, those 3 will be for the pork butts when I put them on, but this is gonna run for a few hours. Let me trust this HAL 9000, all right? Oh, wait, did I call this setup the HAL 9000? I'm sorry, ThermoWorks. It's the ThermoWorks Smoke and the Billows. Computer control for my drum smoker. What are you doing, Dave? If you're my age and you grew up watching 2001: A Space Odyssey, you know what I'm talking about. Letting stuff be computer controlled, kind of scary. All right, so now that's at 201. I'm gonna try to catch this on the way up here in just a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off, all the way off. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the air dam from the bottom here. I need to put the phone down to do it. All right, I removed the stopper, and I have to give kudos to ThermoWorks for sending me a Billows with a silicone stopper. That's my favorite ThermoWorks unit color. They come in a lot of different colors, everything, but the yellow and black are my favorites. So anyway, I really like the stopper covers that one. All right, now I've got everything hooked up. I'm gonna plug that in right there. I'm probably gonna need to put the phone down to do it and see if it'll control this thing. I have that fan logo on right there. And what happened was, I had that part hooked to the Billows. That part's supposed to go here. That part goes to the fan. I'll I read the corrections in the box and figured out what I was doing wrong. All right. And it's got it where it's going to set it at 225. I'm going to have to reset this to 250. All right, now that I hooked it up right, the fan has come on because it's not at 250. I set it for 250. Let's go ahead and start the timer again. Well, I'm back from the play. It's a little after 9:15. We left about 6:30, and that's at 3:15, and that's too hot. Been going for 3 hours and 3 minutes. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this into the bottom of the fan, choke it off some, because I mean, I've got that choked off pretty well. And the thing is over here. And I'm gonna give it about an hour to cool down and see if it'll run at 50. Right now, I'm not trusting it, not to work on this drum smoker. So I'm gonna let it cool down. It's not going up much past 315, but I'm still kind of worried about it because I mean, I don't have those vents open very wide at all. So I'm gonna put this in there, prepare the pork butts and see if that'll drop it down, and then see if it'll try to maintain it at 250. All right, I got the pork butts ready. You see how much time has elapsed since you last saw the time stack there. And we're down to 228, the plug's still in there. I haven't pulled it out. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, put the pork butts in, and then we'll see where we are after that, and I'll pull the plug out and let it continue to keep it at 250. All right, 4:15 a.m. and it's saying that the small one has reached 170. I have gotten up out here in my pajamas because I live in the country. I could be out here in my underwear if I wanted to. All right, and 10 hours and 12 minutes is how long the smoker's been running. It is, you know, barely cracked right there. All right, and it has done a good job at keeping it. I did reset the control temp to 225. That way I wasn't worried about it going too high, and I have the time, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna plug up the fan, and we'll open it up, and we're gonna check that small one everywhere with the ThermoPin real quick, and see if it's ready to wrap, and I'll get it wrapped and put back on here. All right, well, that's what it's looking like right there. And they're all looking really good. Of course, the alarm's going off because I didn't turn it off here because I got the lid open. That's the air alarm. And this one is the one that is reading. Nope, it's the blue one that's reading. Wow, the blue one, it's not the small one that's reading that. So let's see, something's probably not right. 154, 156, 155. It's not, it must be where the probe placement is. Boy, I tell you what, this ThermoPin is fast. So I'm gonna ignore where it's at 174. I'm gonna wait till the other ones get there because that's what they're saying is 155. And I may try to move that probe, but I'm gonna have to grab something because the probe's gonna be hot. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's dropping. I just pulled it out just a little bit. And so, maybe it was on the bone or something. Anyway, let's go ahead and cover this back up. All right, so yeah, see, the temperatures drop back down when I move that probe. So that ThermoPin 1 really works fast. I didn't have to leave this lid open very long at all. Well, it's 6 a.m. It is dawn, and there's not been a lot of change. That's reading at 232, 162 and 166. Looks like some dew has settled there. It hasn't rained, but it's been 2 hours. There's the elapsed time, 11:51, that my smoker has been running. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cap on there. We'll open it up, take a quick peek with the ThermoPin, and see what this looks like. Maybe it was some little bit of rain, but everything's gonna be okay. So we'll take a quick look at the ThermoPin, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these up. They're definitely in the stall pattern. They were at 154 2 hours ago. They're not gaining a whole lot. And I will probably go ahead and set that back up to 250 because I don't care once they're wrapped if it gets, you know, 275-ish to 300 or so. So let's take a look at it. All right. I got the air stopper in. Yeah, I got a little better bark than I did at 4 a.m. Now I like to score them a little bit. I get more rub in places and stuff like that. That's why they kind of look, you know, I like to score them when I cook them. But let's go ahead and check. That's at the 160 range, so 167. And there's that incessant alarm again, 166. Yep, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these up. They're looking real good. And you can see they're still real moist. I didn't have to baste them because these ugly drum smokers, upright drum smokers, UDSs, redneck crock pots, they do a good job of keeping meat moist, especially when you got the vents down low. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap them up. I am gonna put a little liquid in them when I wrap them up, and we'll get them covered up. All right, I got them all wrapped up. I'm gonna go ahead and cover it up. Set my vents way down low. That's what I'm doing with this fan. All right, once the temperature settles back into the 230 range, I'm gonna probably go ahead and up that from 225 to 250. I wasn't keeping it down at 225 anyway. And I wanna get these things cooked. I really don't mind if it cooks almost 275 or even higher once they're wrapped. But I wanna get these up, you know, into the 200 range there, so the pork will pull. There we go. That's how long the smoker's been operating, and it's got several more hours in it. Well, you know what? It's approaching 250 anyway. I went ahead and just removed the air dam, and we'll see what happens. If it lets enough air in there with the vents closed like this to keep it at the 250 range, I won't reset it when there's no point in it. But you call it the air dam, the stopper, the blocker, what do you call that? Anyway, just see where it goes from here. If I need to raise it from 225 to 250 in a little bit, I'll do so. All right, the vents are still cracked slightly. That's gone to 235. I went ahead and just upped it to 240 since everything's wrapped. Listen, I got, you know, that's the magnet where that old pipe used to be on this old drum before I redid it last year. And maybe there's a little smoke or air come out of that. You can see a little smoke come out of that. And back here at this vent, there's a little leak. And that's probably why I didn't keep it exactly at 225. Kept it in the 230, which is the range I'm good at cooking at. Maybe if I put flue tape there and there, this computer controlled Smoke X would do a better job of controlling the billows to keep it at a dead 225. I'll talk more about that in final thoughts, but overall, I'm satisfied. I knew that the fire wasn't going to go out, and that gave me some peace of mind. All right, it is right now 8 o'clock. It's been, you know, I started wrapping the stuff just after 6 a.m. and I had it wrapped, you know, maybe by 6:15 or 6:20. And that one, which is one of the larger ones actually, is at 195. The other's at 172 and 166. Since I set it to 240, it's been holding very steady. I hadn't seen it go below about 237.8, so around 238 degrees, and it hasn't gone above about 245. And so I'm happy with setting it at 240. I'm gonna go ahead and let it go for another hour, and if that one gets to 203 within the hour, and I think it probably will, I'm gonna let it stay like this. I may go ahead and bump it up to 250. I've been worried about whether or not I've had a clean burn on it. Of course, it's wrapped now, so the smoke doesn't matter right now, but whether the smoke was too white or not, of course, most of the time I was cooking was at night, so it was hard to kind of tell. But it looks like it's, you know, I've got a thin layer of smoke coming out of that. And so maybe it's not smoldering too bad. That's how long the smoker has been running. And remember, I put it on right around the 4-hour mark. I let it run for 4 hours to practice first before I ever even put the meat on. So the meat's been on about 9 hours, and the smoker's been running about 14 hours. All right, so just letting you know, it is staying right around 240. It's holding a 240 temp better than it was holding a 225 temp. And like I said, that may be because I've got a leaky smoker, but I'm kind of liking it, I don't know if you can hear that, but that fan is blowing a little bit now to get it back up to about 240. It pulses like that. Very, very quiet. Okay, something seems odd. You know, one is almost approaching the 203 target temp, and the alarm's going to sound. The other two are 169 and 177. That one that is at 202, almost at 203, ready to go. I think is the small one. That's my red probe port. And I'm going to check it in different places with the thermopin, but it's getting close to done, and there it goes right there. Yes, indeed. That one that's done is the red one. So let me check the various places here and see what it's saying. Guys, that's real tender. That is real tender. And look how fast that thermopop. Yeah, the small one's done. So it's coming off, and we'll let these others cook. Okay, when I pulled that little one off, I stuck the temp probe into the big one. These are done, and I just probed them with the thermopin, and went inside, grabbed the camera to show you what's going on. 1639 is how long my smoker's been running. Remember, I put this on just under 4 hours into it. So it went on about 350 or so. So these been on for 12 hours and 39 minutes, these big ones. So that's pretty good, or a little longer than that, but they're doing well. Yeah, I kind of like it. We'll talk about it here at the end. I don't know if you can see down in there well, but that's how much coal I got left after 16 hours of running my smoker. Nice smoke ring. Okay, my final thoughts on this Smoke X and the Billows fan. First of all, I really like my smoke thermometer, all right? It's the one I've had for years. It's in yellow, my favorite color. And this is the basic model. You get it for $2.99. It will not work with the Billows fan, all right? But I like it because it's radio controlled and with the little remote, and I'm not into apps and funny things like that. But if you are, you can get the smoke, which works pretty well, and you can get something called a gateway, which will let it hook up to your phone or your computer or something inside or something. I'm not interested in Bluetooth pairing or Wi-Fi pairing or anything like that. I just want this and that, and that's it. That's all I want. Simple. So I really like the smoke, but it doesn't have the range that this Smoke X has. And the smoke, even though it'll hook up to Wi-Fi, won't run the Billows fan. If you want to run the Billows fan, you need to have the Smoke X, okay? There's two Smoke X's. There's a Smoke X 2-channel, like the regular smoke, which is fine. You get one for the pit temp, one for the meat. And there's the Smoke X4, which has 3. So I was cooking, or 4 actually, so I could cook 3 pieces of meat. I was cooking 3 pieces of meat, and I found that to be extremely helpful. I also tested this receiver. Like I said, I don't like the stuff that hooks up the phones. I really don't care about barbecuing with an app, all right? Tested this receiver in parts of my house and parts of my 4-acre property where I know that this one goes out, the regular smoke goes out, this one stayed connected. I don't really need the longer range, but it's nice to know it's there. Kind of like having a V8 in your car. Now, this is twice the price of the 2-channel smoke. But if you get the 2-channel smoke with the gateway, then it's there. But there's another product called the Signals or something that you can use with the Billows fan that'll hook up to your phone if you're interested in apps and tracking everything. I'm not. I just want to know what the temperature of the meat is and the temperature of my smoker, and that's it. All right. I really, really like this. I really like it. Without the fan, I really like it. Now, with the Billows, with the fan, I was skeptical because an ugly drum smoker will work pretty well without one of these. But there's been times when coals have started to go out, or when there's been wind and I've got it's jumped up in temperature a little bit. And you know, the first few hours I was gone to the play that first night, and it did get a little higher than I wanted. I was able to control it back down. I dropped it down to 225, and all night it didn't really get there. It was around 233, which is fine for smoking pork. It's fine. But I didn't have to worry about the fire ever going out. I did worry about maybe getting dirty smoke on it. If there was, I'm my own worst critic, it was mild. There wasn't really a lot of bitter smoke. I did worry a little bit as I slept at night, maybe it would get too hot, but it didn't. And when I got it up in the morning to 240 and then 250 for a few hours, it stayed right around that range. It really worked. It never got to the 225 range on my home-built drum. It might if you have a Weber Smoky Mountain or a commercial thing. I could probably do that because ThermoWorks sells a damper. You know where that air dam that goes in the back here, or the air blocker or whatever? They got one that's shaped like a little damper, and you can set it. So I could probably control the air a little bit with that, or I could get some flue tape or something and seal off the other leaks in my smoker that I showed you. Final thoughts. I was skeptical at first. I was worried during the cook. Will the meat be too smoky? Will the smoldering coals make it a dirty smoke? You've heard the expression, the proof is in the pudding? Well, the proof is in the pulled pork. You saw it fall apart and stuff, but I'm telling you, people liked it. Cooked for about 50 people. There were parents, kids and parents that I didn't know come up to me. They got up from their table and came over to me and said, "Are you the guy that cooked the barbecue? It's really, really good." "Oh, well, thank you." I didn't fish for the compliments. I didn't go around and ask them, "Hey, how'd you like the barbecue?" Or, "Hey, I didn't." They came to me, got up out of their chairs and walked over to tell me the barbecue was good. That gave me the confidence in this thing. Yeah, you don't need it for UDS, but I did sleep better knowing I had it, all right? And yeah, I'm kind of skeptical, but now I'm a believer, all right? Sound like a Monkees song, doesn't it? Anyway, it sells for about $70 on the ThermoWorks website. Link will be down below if you're interested. I may eventually modify my Weber. You got to drill a hole in a Weber if you're going to use it with a Weber. But if you use it with a Weber Smoky Mountain, you don't have to make major modifications. And I think there's an adapter kit I can get to run on my other UDS, so maybe I'll use it with my other UDS some too. I'm glad to have it. I'm glad to have it when I need it. I'm glad to know I can trust it when I have to cook overnight. I don't cook a lot for people like that, but probably this August I'll be cooking pulled pork for my son's high school band and at band camp, and I'll probably have 3 or 4 butts on the smoker, and I'll probably use this overnight to make sure it's good. If I'm cooking during the day for an evening meal and I put it on early in the morning and I'm going to be awake and I can check on the smoker, I may not use it, but when I need it, I'm glad I have it. The Smoke X works with or without the Billows, and it's got a longer range. If you need a longer range than the smoke, consider it. If you only need 2, they make a Smoke X2, and if you need 4, they make the Smoke X4. Very impressed, very impressed. Easy to set, easy to operate. The only reason I wouldn't use this all the time, and then I'll make it my biggest criticism of this, is I'm old, I'm 50, and I need reading glasses, and the stuff is smaller on here than it is on my, let me open this back up. Sorry. In other words, this is just a 2-channel alarm. I don't know about the Smoke X, but this regular Smoke's 2-channel alarm. But the little stuff, the information and stuff is bigger here, and I can read this without putting on my reading glasses. Pretty much just set this, I had to put on my reading glasses. The bigger temperature numbers I could see without them, but the little stuff, which one was setting and everything, I need to put on reading glasses, read it, but that's because I'm old. If you got young eyes, not a big problem. And if you got really bad eyes and you need reading glasses for either one, then make the decision that way. This one does cost twice as much as this one, but you got 4 probes and it'll run the Billows fan, all right? The Billows fan runs for about $70. Guys, I was skeptical, now I'm a believer. I really like the stuff. Links will be down below. Thank you for watching this long video as I did a thorough initial review of the Billows fan and the Smoke X from ThermoWorks. Pulled pork was fantastic. My kids loved it, and my son said, "Dad, that's some of the best you've ever made," and I've made good pulled pork many, many times. So anyway, I'm happy with it, guys. So there's my final review, final thoughts. Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue.